Your boy Tone 202, and I want to talk about the Orlando shooting again because some people have responded to me and talking about Obama taking away our weapons, and then she had the nerve to call me naive, and I'm like, woman, for one, I'm not naive to what Obama is trying to do, and or the government. You think you have the right to bear arms. Okay, fine. For one, I'm a black man. So let's look at the right to bear arms and who we're talking about. Two, you're a white woman. So yeah, you have the right to bear arms. But when it comes to black people, we get shot just for having a gun or allegedly having guns. So let's just get that out the way. 900 of us were shot last year, and a lot of those claims. There was a guy who had a screwdriver. Police shot him. Okay, he didn't tase him; they shot him. There are people, children, and young adults who are being shot dead, and police have been acquitted because they had a weapon, even though it isn't a gun. So let's get that out the way with the government's trying to take our guns because that's more or less your fight. That's not black people's fight. Okay. Um, Two, I wanted to look at this from a military standpoint because I was in the military during Desert Storm. When Desert Storm started, I was in Kansas. I was on Fort Riley. Now, I was short, meaning I was about to get out, but I actually tried to go over to the war, and I thank God that I didn't because the unit that I tried to go over the water with, my friend told me, he said when our other friend stepped off the plane, he got his head blown off. He said we landed in a hot zone, and as soon as he stood up, his head was gone. And I was like, damn, that could have been me because I tried to go over just to be with him because he was my best friend at the time. And that's all I thought about was, you know, I'm going to protect us, and, if I get shot and killed, then my family will get, the military money and so on and so forth. That was my whole train of thought. But I'm glad I didn't go. Shortly after that, I was out of the military, and I'm talking about the military in this situation because when we look at the whole hostage situation that Saddam Hussein did when he invaded his neighboring country for oil, when we look at that, and then when we look at the expedient reaction to America, not only okay, let's dial it back a bit. For one, Muhammad Ali, RIP to Muhammad Ali, went in and freed 15 hostages, okay, from Saddam Hussein by just having negotiations. The American government did not want Muhammad Ali to do that, okay, but Muhammad Ali did that anyway, and he freed a bunch of them. They went home. They was like, we owe our lives to you. They were hostages. They were all white people. They were all working there. I think they worked for GM at the time. They had a plant over there in Iraq. So this is before Saddam invaded Kuwait, but nonetheless, he wanted to use those white people as not so much human shields, but it pretty much don't come over here or these people, their lives can be taken away. But Saddam Hussein released those people to Muhammad Ali. So let's just think about that. Anyway, I'm going to move on. Nonetheless, so he released 15 people. And then shortly after they got released, we invaded Iraq. Okay, we went and bombed the hell out of them, and we've been bombing the Middle East ever since. We've been bombing the hell out of the Middle East ever since because they're oil rich, and we all know that we need oil, even though we have a bunch of it over here. And so now they're fracking over here to get oil, but nonetheless, we're still killing people over there. So we had so that war started, right? And then you had after that storm, you had Iraqi freedom. That war started. Still over there in the Middle East, still taking oil, still killing people. And then you have Al Qaeda, the whole thing with Al Qaeda. Now, mind you, all of these people were our allies. Saddam Hussein was our ally. Uh, Al Qaeda leader, he was our ally. The CIA created Al Qaeda to fight in the mountains of Kabul. Okay, so let's and then we turned against those people. Gaddafi, who just died what last year, he was our ally. Gaddafi was our ally. I mean, Ayatollah Khomeini. I mean, all these people were our ally who we just go and we decide, you know what, we don't need you anymore and kill them and then take our oil. We went and invaded Gaddafi. We took their oil too. Now, we have this whole thing with ISIS where I mentioned in my other video where we left a bunch of our equipment over there. We left trucks, we left bombs, we left guns, we left all kind of stuff. ISIS was created. ISIS started terrorizing everybody. They start terrorizing everybody with our guns. And now they're over here. See, this is what I think. And, you know, for the people who died and the people who got hurt, this is not a slam on anyone. This is what I think. For one, the man attacked the gay bar. If he, for one, he attacked the gay bar and he claims ISIS, correct? So he obviously thinks that being gay is immoral. Okay, so let's just get that out the way. He probably did not like the act of being gay and could not separate the act from the people. You know what I'm saying? And that's that's a big problem with religious fanatics. They cannot separate the act of what they're doing from the people who are doing it. Since you're doing this, you're bad, even though it's an individual preference to be gay. So all gay people are bad. There are even people on the internet who I've seen say God hates fags. It's just like, like what? Like what? But you got a whole country who believes this. They believe God hates homosexuals, not the homosexual act. So he did not even register them as human beings because they hate the act of homosexuality. Okay, we can, and that's a whole nother subject. But that's why I believe he targeted them. But also, I believe I'm just gonna say this, man. I'm just gonna say this. I don't believe it was an accident. I don't believe it was an accident because one, the government knew about this guy. They already knew about him. They knew he had an AR-15 because you have to register an AR-15. And I've shot an AR-15 air-cooled A2 weapon. I've shot them before, except they're called M16s in the military. They're AR-15s on the street. It's a semi-automatic and automatic rifle. It takes 30 clips, to 27 to 30 clips. I mean, it's a very powerful armor-piercing weapon. I mean, it will take you out of this world quickly with no hesitation. I've shot one. I mean, 750 miles an hour. That thing, 300 yards. You're going out of here. So I'm just telling you, I just don't think these acts of sudden terrorism, and this is the worst terrorism on American soil, are accidents. I think it's more fuel to the fire. I think it's more reason for us to go over and invade another country. I think we created ISIS. And in doing so, we know, see, we know these people are in our country. The government said they knew him. They said they were watching him. People, this is not an accident. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's not. War profiteers are running this country. And this is just part of it. It's just like 9/11. Listen, if you do or don't believe that 9/11 was done by our own government, it doesn't matter. The knee-jerk reaction is what matters. What matters is there were 3,000 people killed here in 9/11. How many people have we been killing ever since 9/11? How many? Have we ever eradicated the people who did this to us? And don't say we killed bin Laden because we did. We never found his body. Not to mention bin Laden was one of our people. We created bin Laden. And the bin Laden's families, his sons, his grandsons, they're all architects. They all lived here in America. They were American. And they still are American citizens. You're not going to find bin Laden's body because he's not dead. I'm telling you, he's not dead. His children, they're all architects. His children all live here. His children and his children's children. They live here, people. This is all the same thing that's taken us into war after war after war after war for the last 230 years. I'm just telling you. I mean, It's all smoke and mirrors. They're doing this to us. They're making us angry at these people. They're the ones who are doing this. I'm telling you, this is all war profiteering from the seven powerful families, because this is how they made their money. And this is how they continue making their money. Halliburton and Alden. They're part of the seven largest families that control America, and they need war to do it. And that's just what I believe. I'm sorry to the people who lost their lives. I'm sorry to all Americans and people abroad, to anyone in this world who is getting mixed up and getting slain for these warmongers to keep the money machine going. It's just a damn shame that we cannot pinpoint these people and just that we can't stop this. This is just gross negligence on the human life itself. It's like we're not even human to these people who are controlling this. We're not human to them. We're not. We're just cattle. And it's just disgusting because it can happen to anyone at any time. And I'm out, people. There's just so much to this. It's just not black and white. And I don't mean that literally. There's so much gray to this, and it's not an accident. And what's really crazy is there was just another terrorist attack not too long ago, and I'm telling you, systematically, if we start getting in the numbers, I'm telling you, it's about to happen again. It's your boy Tom 202.